Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this class, this webinar. My name is Reyna Mendez. I am going to be your instructor for today. And if you have any questions, please use the chat window. You can use the Q&A tool too. This is going to be an interesting class. I know that some of you are struggling with live streaming, right, Juan?
Yes.
So this is going to be an opportunity to learn about this important part of your marketing plan. Okay, so let's explain first why live streaming is important. Live streaming should be an important part of your marketing plan. Videos are opening up a new world of customer interaction. And in this workshop, we're going to focus on why you must use live video to transform your business. We're going to see some examples of how live streaming has been transforming some small businesses. And I'm going to provide you with some tips about how to go live in an effective way. This is the outline of the webinar today. We're going to talk about some points to consider, and we're going to talk about why you must use live streaming, in what situations you need to use live streaming, and how live streaming can transform your business. We're going to discuss types of live streaming. We're going to talk about some tips of how to go live effectively and how to overcome your fear. And also, we're going to talk about Streamyard. That's a particular app that I want to introduce you. It's for free and it is very interesting. Remember that if you are starting your business or you have some questions or some doubts regarding your licensing, regarding your planning, you can access to these PDF, which is a roadmap, and it's this roadmap was created by business and industry, and you can access to it, and it's a PDF that is very interactive, and you can go to these different spaces and see the resources they have. Those resources are for free, so I really encourage you to visit this roadmap. Okay, well, let's start. Live streaming. I want to start with something that we used to say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, that's not true anymore. What happens in Vegas no longer stays in Vegas. Okay, with live streaming, pretty much nothing is hidden. So whatever happens, people is going to know. Okay, so that privacy thing, it's not as used to be. Now everybody has a camera on their cell phone, and it's a pretty good camera. You know, the quality of the cell phone cameras have improved over time, so it is very easy to be captured. So be careful. Okay, let's start with the first topic, with the first outline today. Some points to consider. Facebook generates 8 billions of video views per day. That's a lot. Only Facebook. I'm not talking about Instagram. I'm not talking about Twitter. I'm just talking about Facebook. Facebook only generates 8 billions of video views per day. A person stays in a live video 3 times more time than a produced or recorded video. So people like to consume live streaming, are more likely to consume live streaming than a pre-recorded video. Video posts have 125% more reach than a regular post. It has movement, it has sound, it's going to be more likely people to engage with it. 1 of 5 Facebook users interact with live videos. That's a big number. 1 to 5 Facebook users interact with live videos. People like live videos. They feel that they are in the place at that moment in the action, and they don't feel like they're just watching something that just happened. Or they feel like they are caught in the action at the moment. And that makes them stay just to see what's going to happen, because they don't really know how that's going to go. People comment 10 times more in a live streaming than in a regular video. If you know how to interact with people, and if you are going live and you know how to create expectations and how to create interaction, then people's going to stay there and it's going to comment on your live streaming. When people comment on your live streaming, you're going to stay longer. You're going to stay longer within the history of Facebook, and you're going to have the opportunity to reach more, because if people comment on a live video, their friends are going to be likely to see their comments. Okay, so you're going to have more reach. So that's the importance of live streaming. 42.8 minutes per person watching live streaming versus 5.1 minutes of pre-recorded content. That's a lot. That's a huge difference between one and the other. So these are the points that you need to consider of why it's important for you to start doing live streaming. If you have questions, please, Juan, I don't know if you're there, but let me know, because I'm not able to really see my window.
They're all good. No questions so far. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you must use live streaming if you wish to increase knowledge, preference, and trust about you, your products, or your services. And we have discussed this a lot in the classes that we do about Canvas model. We talk about this. We talk about building trust. We talk about the message, and we talk about how you have to let your audience know what to do, what problems do you solve, and what you can do for them. So with live streaming, you have the opportunity to deliver this message in a better way, in an efficient way. So remember, if people doesn't know you, they're not going to be able to trust you. When you are doing online sales, it is difficult because sometimes people don't know if you are legit, legit, and they're wondering, who are you? So in order to build trust, they have to be able to interact with you. And live streaming is going to help you to build that trust. That's why it's so important to start doing it. And I know it sounds easy and it is not, but I'll give you some tips. Okay.
Reyna,
Yes.
how do viewers know when you are live or it is a pre-recorded video?
Oh, because it's going to say when you are live on Facebook, on Instagram, it says at the moment in Instagram, you can see that you're lighting. You have like it's like a circle, and it's like lighting, and it says live. So on Facebook, it's also gonna say live. And once you're done, and the person is watching again your live streaming, like later on, it's going to give a message that it's like this live streaming ended, but you're going to reproducing the live streaming. So, but at some moment, the person is going to know that that was a live streaming done maybe a few minutes earlier or an hours prior, but it's going to say that you were live.
Is there any best time of the day to go live? Or do you have to maybe try a few times?
There is on your Facebook business page, if you have a Facebook business page, your business page is going to tell you what times your followers connect the most, like the peak times. If you go to insights, you're going to be able to see that. But if you have a profile, a personal profile, you're not going to know. So my recommendation is to try different times to see what works best for you when you have the more engagement. Usually, I'll say afternoon is good, mornings are good, but it is going to depend on your audience. So, if, for example, if you're targeting doctors, if you're targeting nurses, their schedules are really tight and are very difficult. So probably they're gonna go early in the morning, or they're gonna have these night shifts. So you might want to research about your ideal customer and see when it's more likely to be connected. I don't know if I answered that question properly. Okay.
I think you're gonna touch on this later on, but how long should the live video be?
We'll talk about this. Yes, we'll talk about this later in a couple next slides. Okay, you must use live streaming if you want branding recognition. Okay, this is very important for you to know, because a lot of small business owners think that having a social media presence is only for sales, and it is not. And I know it sounds like oh my gosh, all this work just to not sell. Well, yeah, because remember that people go to their social media channels, to their social media accounts, not to find products. They go to interact with people they love, okay? With people they do care about, family members, friends, and people like that. But when they are exploring on their Facebook page, maybe watching their news feed, then they encounter these ads, or they encounter this content, or one family member was sharing this content, and they were like, oh, okay, sounds interesting, I'm gonna watch it, right? But you have to understand how audiences work on social media channels. Because if you think that a person is going to go to Facebook to watch ads, that's not going to happen. If I want a service, if I'm looking for a service or a product, I'm going to go to Google to find it. Okay, so you have to have this clear. People don't go to their social media channels to buy anything. So that's why you have to build a branding recognition. You have to make them familiar with your brand, that they recognize your logo, that they recognize what you do, that they recognize you, they recognize your store, they recognize your knowledge. So when they need it, they're gonna have you in their mind. They're gonna say, hey, by the way, this guy, he does this, and this lady does that. Okay, so that's branding recognition. Okay, and you must use live streaming if you have a message to share with the world. I know it sounds like very dramatic or very romantic, but it is like that. If you have a message to share with the world, do live streaming. And your company, your small business, have a message to share. okay, about your products, about your efficiency to resolve a problem. You want to share a message that you're good at what you do, and that you deserve to be paid for what you're doing. Okay, so that's a message to share with the world. We just have to tailor this message properly. Like I said, going to live streaming just to sell and sell and sell, that's just not like that. You have to bring something valuable. Okay, yes, you are selling, but at the same time you are providing information, you are providing something that is relevant. Okay, and you must use live streaming if you're looking for options to retain and attract your customers. Okay, once you build your customers, invite them to follow you, invite them to be there, because they already know you, so they can help you to expand. Okay, so that's why it's so important to say, hey, give me a like on Facebook, hey, follow me, hey, we're gonna have a live streaming about this, about that. So take in consideration the customers that you already have to help you to reach more people that can be your potential customers, because you never know if you have a customer that has like 4,000 friends, and maybe this customer, he likes to be on social media a lot. Okay, so you are missing the opportunity to have this person follow you, sharing your content. Okay, so that's why you have to use live streaming. Now, how live streaming can transform your small business or any business. Okay, live streaming can transform your business from local to global. Okay, because you might be able to sell your products to, number one, different states, not just Nevada. You can go to California, people can watch you from Phoenix, people can watch you from New York, from Florida, from anywhere. And then it can go global. I mean, you can have followers from South America, from Europe, from Asia, from different parts of the world. So it can transform your business because you can start to export. Maybe later on the day, you're going to realize that you have customers that are interested in your product, and you might want to start to think about logistics and about how you're going to um, deliver these products in different countries. So it can change, it can definitely transform your business. Live streaming can transform your business because you can become a personal brand. Sometimes a person has so much potential, charisma, that becomes their own personal brand. And whatever this person does, people follow him or her. Okay? Have you noticed that? That, for example, Rachel Ray, she is her own brand. She can create different stuff, she can launch different products in different industries, and she's always going to be Rachel Ray. And I'm just giving you an example, okay? There are many examples. So it's going to transform your business, because if you are your own personal brand, then you can open different businesses, or you can open different like portions of your business. For example, if you have a restaurant, maybe you're going to open your cooking channel in YouTube, and then you're going to start selling products like cooking products. But you have your restaurant, okay? But because you develop so many followers on yourself, then you're able to create a personal brand. So definitely it can change your life and your business. And I'm going to show you 3 examples. This chocolate factory, handcrafted since 1939, It is a factory in a small town of Australia. And they started this business in 1939. By the time that 2000, early 2000s, they were disappearing. They were like, okay, we're done. You know, we're going to go bankruptcy. There's no way we're going to save this small business chocolate factory. Then I think it was the son, yeah. He discovered social media, you know, back in 2007, 2008, and they started doing a lot of stuff. They started doing posting on social media channels. They created their own channel on Facebook, and they started to do live streaming once it was possible. They started doing live streaming, and now they sell globally, and they do custom chocolates, like whatever kind of figure that you want, they make it to you, and they, you know, they ship it to you everywhere. So they saved the factory, and they saved this small business in a small town of Australia just because of live streaming. And Deepalicious, this company was started by I think 14-year-old boy in England, and he started doing Facebook lives and doing catering during the pandemic, and he became really famous. He has like a lot of followers on his Facebook account and his Instagram, and he shares his recipes, and he cooks, and he does like some sessions, you know, some tips for cooking vegan, why he became vegan at such a young age, and he shared his experiences and everything. And like I said, he started it in Facebook, and now he has his YouTube channel, he has Instagram, and he has like a catering company at 14 years old. And the third company is BuzzFeed News. I don't know if you have watched these videos. They started to create videos, like first pre-recording videos. Now they do live streaming, but they start to create like news in a very funny way. Like they do sketches, and they present news, you know, like what's happening in the world, but they could create like a comedy thingy about it. And they went viral on different social media platforms because of these videos, because of these funny videos. And what they do basically is they are like a newspaper. So they sell a space for advertisement in their website. That's how they sustain their newspaper, their online newspaper. And if you go there, that's quite fun. So these are like 3 examples of how live streaming can really change and transform a business. Okay, let's talk about types of live streaming. There are many ways to go live streaming, and I'm going to explain you because someone was asking about how long those live streamings have to be. Okay, one type of live streaming is the backstage. People likes to see what's going on backstage. Like if you have a restaurant, you might want to show the kitchen, and not just showing the kitchen, but showing they can trust your product is clean, your protocols, you know, behind scenes. So backstage are very, very informative. They talk about your employees. They talk about what people do not see from your business, you know, because if they go to your business, maybe they're going to go to the front desk, and they're not going to see what happens behind curtains. Okay, so backstage live streamings are really interesting for people. Q&A sessions. If you are in services, Q&A sessions can help you. For example, if you are in insurance, if you are healthcare provider, if you are a lawyer, if you are a doctor, if you have a specialty in something, all that is good for Q&A. You don't have to really just give away your advice, right? Your professional advice, but you can provide information that is really something that people can search online and get the answer for it. And for example, and I'm going to give you an example of insurance, no, realtors. Let's talk about realtors. For example, a Q&A session about, can you buy a house with IT number? And you just ask, you just can answer questions. You can say, hey, I'm a realtor, and my name is this, my company is this company, and I'm here to let you know everything about buying a house with IT number. And you just can get questions and you can give people answers. It is a good way to generate trust, because people feel that you really want to help them to buy a house. So you're just not selling houses, but you're providing information so people feel comfy to buy from you. Okay? So that's what it's about. Another type of live streaming that people likes is the educational. With educational, it can be about healthy habits. For example, if you have a restaurant and you wanted to say, okay, do not combine this amount of carbs with protein. So you have to kind of balance your meal, and you can show them how to balance meals. That's educational. Okay. If you are going to talk about, if you sell a product, let's say insurance life policies, for example, then you're going to educate why is it important to have a life policy, how this can change the lives of people who stay after you pass away. Okay. And I know that's, for a lot of people, that's scary. Okay. So it could be educational. It doesn't have to look like you're selling something, but you are. I don't know if that makes sense. Interviews work good too. If it's a good topic, like I said, maybe you don't know everything regarding your industry, but you might want to invite someone who does. Okay, and people is able to ask questions, and people is able to interact with this person and engage with this person. Live events, conference, awards, galas, depending on what kind of industry you are. Let's say that you have a promotion going on in your taco shop. I don't know. 2 for the price of 1 Tuesdays. So you want to make a live event of it, like, hey, we're here, we're about to open today. Remember, today is two for the price of 1. Come to pick up your tacos, and they're delicious, and you come and join us. Okay. So those types of live events. About the length. If it is a promotion, like you're promoting your product or you're giving a specific information, 30 seconds are good. Like if you are branding, like if you are promoting something and it has to be really fast, 30 seconds. If it's going to be more informational, 3 minutes. But if it's going to be like a show, like for example, like an interview that takes longer, it can be as long as 30 minutes. And like I said, it's going to depend of what type of live streaming are you choosing to do. But for marketing, like you're marketing a new product or you're marketing something, shorts, like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, with a lot of um, image or pictures moving. They capture the eye and not a whole lot of text on it. So make text really be concise. So, but like I said, it is going to depend on the type of live streaming you want to do. 3 minutes to 20 minutes work. For events that last more than half hour to 1 hour, then you have to really engage with the audience. Really, you have to bring an interesting topic that people can just come back, or back and forth to your live. But if you are going to start doing live streaming, I recommend for you to go short. If you don't have that much experience to hold the audience, then make it shorter. Okay, so start with 3 minutes, with, like I said, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe, until you like get a hold of it. Then you can do longer videos. I hope that I answered that question. Okay, tips to go live effectively. This is something that you have to consider. Not because you're going to go live streaming, it means that you don't have to plan it. Okay, it is nice that you don't have to, they kind of can be like really at the moment. But my suggestion is just to plan your live stream, create a script. You don't have to follow the script, okay? You don't have to like go live and sounds like very robotic, okay? No, but somehow create or have in your mind the clear message you want to provide, what key points you're going to discuss so you do not forget to talk about those points. So that's what I'm talking about creating a script. Practice prior to go live. And with practice session, I mean, to check the connectivity, to check that everything is good, that the light is good. I'm gonna talk about those things in a few minutes, but practice. And another important thing is that you have to establish objectives, okay? Make sure that you know, or that it makes sense for you to do this. Okay, what I want to accomplish by doing this live streaming. Okay, I want to focus on the product. I want to focus on a service. I'm going to do 30 seconds. I am going to go 3 minutes and I'm going to explain this and that. And I want to interact with these people, or I want that they make me questions. So establish the goals. Why are you doing this live video? Because if you don't have a clear idea of why are you doing this, you're going to probably get lost, and then you're not going to do it in an effective way. Remember that you have just a few seconds to make a good impression. Okay, so you have to make those seconds count, and you have to make them impactful. Okay, be yourself. And with be yourself, really in live streaming, you have the opportunity to be you. This doesn't happen with pre-recording videos. When you're pre-recording something, you have a formal script, you're following directions of someone who's telling you how to look to the camera or is giving you lights. So everything seems like more taken care of. Like when you go live, everything looks more like raw. Okay. So mistakes are going to happen. You're going to maybe, at the one point, you're going to say, like, what I was going to say, right? And then you laugh, and then you're nervous, and then you try to compensate, and maybe your little dog, your little puppy just pass by and distract you, and then you laugh, and then things happen. Okay. And I think that's the charm about live streaming, and I think that's why it captures so many people, because you're able to watch the real person. I don't know if you have seen that during the pandemic, a lot of musicians, a lot of singers, they start to do live streaming on YouTube, just in their houses, just relax, grabbing the guitar, playing and singing for you for free. Okay, doing a video in YouTube or just a live streaming on Facebook. So that shows you that the person is a simple person, and no matter that he's a big star. Okay, so that shows that side of you that is really unique, and then the charisma that you have. So show that you are real. This is very important. When you do live streaming and you're talking about a topic or you're talking about a product, make sure that you trust your knowledge, okay, about these products or about the services that you provide. Um, and it's okay to not know everything. I'm not saying that you have to know everything, but you have to make sure that you're honest. When you're not able to answer a question, you just have to say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure about that answer. I'm going to double check and I'm going to get back to you. But don't try to respond to everything if you're not really know the answer, because people's going to notice that. Deliver a clear message. And we have discussed this a whole lot too. Make sure that you have a message to provide. And remember that the message has to be about who you are, what do you do, and what problems do you solve. Okay? Because when you say what problems do you solve, then your ideal customers are going to get identified with your message, and they're going to follow you. And that way you're not wasting time trying to convince someone that is not your ideal customer. Okay? So that's going to help you to target in a better way your potential customers. Promote your transmissions in advance. If it's going to be a webinar, if it's going to be a Q&A session, if you're going to interview someone, if it's going to be a special topic, like I was saying, like if you are a realtor and you want to create a session about if people can buy with IT number, then you wanted to promote that transmission in advance. You just don't want to go live and not let them know that you're going to be live. Okay, because people, if really people are interested in this topic, they're going to be connected at that time, and then you're going to have the opportunity to interact with them, interact with people since the beginning, instead of just start with nobody watching your video. Okay, or maybe you are going to have already questions there, so that's going to help you to follow the interview. Okay. So announce the date, the time, and topic a few days prior to your transmission. And you can create short promotional videos. We used to do that when we were promoting the town halls. We usually create a short video like 2 days prior or 3 days prior the town hall, just to let them know, okay, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, this is going to be the guest. And sometimes we had the guest with us, and the guest was like, hey, hi, I'm, and I'm going to talk about this. And, we have the opportunity to laugh, to have some jokes and everything in like 1 minute and 20 seconds. So those promotional videos can create or set up the expectation for people to actually attend to your live. Okay, light, audio, and connectivity. This is very important because sometimes we don't check how our connectivity is, and we go live and then it's like a mess. We are like breaking, like you're talking and then just like got froze. And so make sure that you have a good connectivity. You don't have to really have like a really expensive equipment to do this. Cell phones are really good nowadays. They make them pretty good with good cameras, with good apps to edit. So you don't have to really buy any expensive equipment. You can use your own cell phone. And if you don't have like a ring light, they are very common to use and not that expensive. You can buy one in, I don't know, Amazon for $70, $80, a good ring light. But if you don't have a ring light, you can look for natural light. Just remember to kind of check the noises, or like I said, buy a ring light and test before go live streaming. Uh, Check if your the light is giving you like on your face. Make sure you're not behind a window, because that light it's going to block it and you're not going to look good. So the light has to be in front of you. So the window has to be in front of you. That's what I'm saying. If you do not have a microphone, you can use your headphones. These headphones are really good. Okay. And like I said, they're not pricey and they're pretty good. They have a microphone integrated. So you're able to, aisle the noise and have the microphone. Make sure to have a good connection. Like I said, make sure especially if you're doing live streaming outside, you have to make sure that you have the right connectivity. Horizontal and vertical videos. I know some platforms require the vertical video, which means like this. I know Facebook, you can do horizontal or vertical, doesn't matter. I think Instagram is vertical. I think TikTok is vertical too. So just make sure that you have the right direction of the video. Okay, don't want to appear like that and people is like watching you. Okay. So make sure, double check what are the requirements for the social media channel you want to go live. We'll have fun, be informative and polite with the audience. Share your experiences, keep them engaged. Be aware of comments and questions. I know that it's difficult. It's difficult for me to watch the chat window. Now I know that Juan is helping me with that. But if he wasn't here, I needed to be more engaged in the chat window so I can be able to interact with you. Because if people is writing you comments or is making you questions, but then you're not addressing them, they're like, whatever, they're just gonna say, I'm wasting my time. And so make sure that you are being able to see who is joining in the live video and say, hey, thank you. Susan for being here. Thank you, Larry, whatever. So and encourage them to participate. Make questions. Say, hey, this happened to you. Can you rely on this? Always provide some type of interaction to open questions. Again, and I know that I do this a lot and I say this a lot, but it is very important. Do not forget to mention what problems do you solve, describe the people that you help, and offer solutions. Okay. um, if you mention what problems do you solve and what solutions you can bring, it's a lot easier that people realize that you are a good fit for them, that they could be your ideal client. Okay. I don't know if you have more questions because I'm not able to see the chat window, but please make questions. Tell me what kind of industry you're in so I can give you better examples. Sometimes if I have that information, I'm able to provide you, of course, a better answer. um, the examples that I give are very general. um,
I don't have any specific questions right now, but we used to love all the reality shows, before the pandemics.
right,
Reality
right,
shows
right,
was a big hit. Everybody was into. I mean, now there are apps that are being developed just for reality shows. So
right.
as customers, as clients, as friends, as colleagues, we like to see the real business owners and making the products,
Mhm.
providing good advice, just being real about it.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's a time where you have to be serious, and there's a time that you can be a little bit silly, and I think that's okay. Many entrepreneurs were complaining on, I don't have that interaction with the clients anymore. I'm such a charismatic person, 101. I can close a deal, 101. Now I cannot meet with the clients. But this is one alternative to keep that connection, make that sale, keep that relationship open.
Yeah.
And I seen the entrepreneurs that they send private videos, also private live videos, or for a close group. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's very powerful too. And at this particular time, our private group is gonna meet, and we're gonna
Uh-huh.
share some secrets. So you can twist it a little bit and give that private one-on-one feeling, even though it's a live over the internet video.
Right. You can always create. Remember that you can always create different content for different stage of your client. For example, if it's already a client, you might want to offer different information because it's your client already. Okay,
Mhm.
so for example, I'm going to give you an example. Juan, he makes taxes, right? And he has his clients from last year. So tax season is coming, and he might want to address some issues that these customers of his are going to deal with in this particular taxes. And because his customers already, he can provide that information because he knows already, okay, how much they make or how much they make last year. So he can make a prediction, and so he's able to provide that information. But he's not going to be able to provide this information to any customer. Okay.
Yes.
So you can always have to create different content for the stage of that particular client.
Mhm. And in our on the education industry, we are providing the live videos in our town hall, because it is not about giving a class. It's about making that connection with the business community, with
Yeah.
news updates, and we don't have a full hour or full presentation about class. It's not about the content. It's more about just triggering those questions about a particular subject at that particular moment, and we can have more answers and more material about in more detail. So yeah, I mean we use a lot of live videos in our field, in education, and then we have these live classes where we go more in more detail.
Okay, someone has a question. I
Yes.
own a medical billing company.
Any suggestions?
Okay,
Who are your customers?
right.
Yes, so uh if you do medical billing and that you solve that particular problem, you are you are probably aware of how to solve medical billing issues, that
Doctor's
might be,
practices.
yeah, that might be, or might look like a big headache for somebody that doesn't know or doesn't have the experience. So
Right.
definitely you can say, okay, this code problem was an issue, but we found another code that is related, or we can correct this mistake by doing such and such things. Or you can definitely talk about your compliance procedures, your procedures that make sure the billing goes the right the first time, and you don't have to do any
Mhm.
editing, after you get a kickback from, I don't know, Medicare or anybody else. So you can definitely, it's amazing how entrepreneurs know so many secrets, and they are so obvious for the entrepreneur, but those are like best value secrets for the clients out there.
Exactly, exactly. In this case, in the medical billing, you also can talk about the legal implications of, like how important it is to have the billing, because
Mhm.
that can save thousands of dollars to a company.
Yes, I
So
mean,
that's
I have a client that they did I think medical billing for the school district, and
mhm.
I mean it's amazing the amount of information that they have, the procedures. You have to do one before the other, otherwise you get in trouble, or the process is incorrect.
Right. Definitely, I think it's a very sensitive industry.
But don't give up all your secrets, right? Just give them the right amount of.
Right. Well, if I mean information is out there. You see, if someone wants to search for a particular topic, they're gonna find it on Google. Google has everything. They might gonna be able to find it, but it is just the way that you resolve it. It's not
Yes.
gonna be the same way that I am going to resolve things. Okay.
So
So
more than the information is the knowledge, experience, and how to do it well.
and how to do it well, how to do it properly, how to do it in the correct way. Because I can see a YouTube video about how to have my payroll organized, but I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the implications of it. I'm not sure. I might think that I'm doing the right thing, but I'm not. I might not. So I don't know all the implications. There's so much to consider about in medical billing that I'm not gonna know anything. I'm not gonna know everything, no matter how much I search in Google. That's what
And
I'm trying to
also,
say.
that's a good point. I mean, sometimes the client might know it's easy, but you explain on all the points that should be considered and the
Right.
and importance of each one. So that becomes more of a
And
valuable experience.
right. And remember this, like Juan said, people is going to search for what they think they know, but they're not gonna search about what they don't know.
Exactly.
That's something that you have to convince them to buy you. Okay. So those are the points that you have to focus. I don't know if I help you.
I think that that
Taylor,
applies to a lot of businesses.
yeah, it's very general, but in the medical billing, if you do doctor practices, just if it's very open, if it can be any doctor that you can have this medical billing for them, then you can then you have a lot of possibilities. Then you have a lot of possible clientele. That's what I'm saying. So maybe you want to focus more on your
Pediatricians.
competence,
Okay.
than on your client. Maybe you need to differentiate yourself from other medical billing companies because you have a lot of potential clients. That's that's what I'm saying.
And
But maybe
some
your competition is big, so you might want to be to if you already have established a good customer service and a good organization way to reach customers, then you might want to see what's going on with your competition so you can do it differently. I don't know if I'm helping.
yeah, and also the something that that you explained before, and sometimes the same information can be explained in different ways for different people.
Yes.
For example, you might have a compliance, but if the video you're talking about um, pediatricians or
Plastic surgery.
plastic surgery or anything like that, you can start the video saying, hey, for this particular, for all my pediatrician clients,
Yes.
that A, B, and C are compliance issues. The same
Mhm.
compliance issues are applicable for all the other practices, but if you gave that twist to that video, you can maybe present the same content
Just
different,
adjusting it.
just
Yes.
adjusting it, but at
Yeah,
different times. So
you
you can
can
reuse the content.
definitely when you have this wide range of customers, of possible customers, like Juan said, they're doctors, but they have different practices. So you can kind of start to organize by practice so you can create the right content for each of them. So
And
just
if
like
the
Juan said,
yeah,
it's going to be tailored different. So you might want to start with that.
if you mention in the video, hey, you pediatrician, okay, I might pay more attention if I'm a pediatrician than a general doctor. So I guess
Just
you can.
yes, just make sure that you are targeting all of the practices, because if you're only talking about one but you offer services for everybody, then they're gonna feel like the other practices might feel like, oh, he only does pediatricians.
Or
So
maybe the next month we talk about
right, so
all
make
all
right,
surgery or
right, what
anesthesiologists.
are the implications of
Mhm.
plastic
Same
surgery?
information, but you address different. Yes.
Okay, I hope that we gave you a lot of ideas. Next topic, okay, because I don't want to take that much of your time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Overcome your fear. Okay, this is, I know it's hard. I know you're gonna tell me, Reyna, I don't like this. I don't like it either. When the pandemic started, we started to do videos. I was like, no, I am traditional. I like to be in the classroom. I like to teach the traditional way. But pandemic happened, and then we have to switch it to webinars, to online videos, to live streaming, and you just have to let it happen. you know you're going to the first time it's going to be difficult. I'm not going to say it's not going to be. You're going to be nervous. Probably you're not going to do it that well. Probably you're going to forget about some key points that you were thinking that, oh, I didn't mention that. But that's fine. It's part of learning, and you're going to start to get a hold of it. Okay, so try to focus on the camera. I know it's hard. It's hard for me because I have this little window over here, so it kind of like gets my attention to that side. But focus on the camera. If you have a hard time watching the camera, then you can put like a photo there, of your family, of your kids, so you can mentally just make sure you're seeing in that direction. So observe and learn from watching others. Go to YouTube and go to your favorite YouTuber and watch a video from 4 years ago. Not a current video that the YouTuber has, but go 4 years and you'll see how that person has improved. Believe me, not just in um, the way they design. Now they have better lighting, they have better production, but when they started, they didn't. They just build that up because they started doing it and start to get confident. So confidence is going to be there over time. You're going to build confidence over time. Use a mirror to practice. That works wonder. Okay, use a mirror and start talk. See how you are. Your face, how you move your hands, what are your tics, and if you don't feel comfy with those tics, just try to avoid them, try to make them be conscious of what your tics are. But that can help you to improve. However, don't be afraid of having, I don't know, people used to tell me like, oh no, I don't want to do live streaming because my ears are so big. Oh, I don't want to do live streaming because I hate my nose. I mean, we're not perfect. And part of the charm of live streaming is the people's not perfect. The perfect situations are not gonna happen there. Okay. So we're not perfect. Nobody is. So don't be afraid to show yourself. Give it a time. It takes time, really. But it's not gonna take like 1 year for you to overcome this. Believe me, it's gonna be like 3 or 4 sessions and you're gonna already be more confident. It's not as hard as you think it is. Negative comments. I heard this a lot and I want to address this. Negative comments are gonna happen, especially about and the way that you looks. It's just the reality. It's just the way people is on social media. So people don't have anything to do, anything better than criticize others. And that's gonna happen. And you have to be ready for it. And you have to be ready for react in a very positive way, in a very professional way. If it's worth it, address the negative comment. If it is not worth it, don't do it. Or from a negative comment, make a positive comment or make 2 positive comments. Okay. Don't let these people make you down about being in live streaming. Okay, this is your business. This is something that you've been working hard for. So live streaming is very important nowadays. And if you don't feel comfy doing it, you might want to pay someone for do these videos for you. But I know that a lot of small business owners do not have the budget for hiring someone to do this. So, and that's why it's the importance of this class. So don't be afraid, do it. There's always going to be this type of people and we have to deal with it. That's the real world. Okay. And we don't have to be afraid of it. So be prepared, be confident about what you know, be confident about what your product is, how good your product is, and just let it roll. Keep calm and answer professionally at all times. Okay, don't lose it because I've seen it. And I've seen it with big companies, not just with small business owners. You might think like, oh, this just only happens with, people that is not maybe trained about the situations. But no, I've seen it in big companies, how they get into a fight. I don't know if it's because they wanted to create controversy or they wanted to go viral fighting with the followers, but I don't think that's a good way to generate good interaction. So don't do it. So live streaming is going to help you to connect with your audience in real time. So don't be afraid to use it. Do it. Just jump on it and do it. Okay. I always like to give a little bit of some of the apps that I use. I always recommend Canva. I think that's the most complete editor out there. The free version is really good. The free version has short videos. You can create video marketing with them. They have templates, easy templates you can follow. You don't have to know how to design, it's already there. And it's a great source. If you don't know how to design anything, just go to Canva and that's going to be a lifesaver for you. Well, Photoshop, if you can buy the package, I know it's a software and it is, you have to pay for a membership or something, but they're good in creating videos. You can use Adobe Premiere. And if you want photos, if you don't have a good stock of photos, if you don't know how to, you're not a photographer, you struggle with that, you can go to unsplash.com, and on unsplash.com has a lot of free stock photos you can use. There's a lot of websites out there, Unsplash, Pixabay, and I don't remember any other one, but there's a lot of free stock photos websites out there. And I want to give a little bit of insight through Streamyard. It's an app that it's really cool. It is a video editor that goes through Facebook, and you can use it to do live streaming, and it's like an extra tool. And it is very nice because it is free. The free version, it is really basic, but it helps you to create overlays like the one that you see in this picture. Like on your left, you're able to see the little logo there. It says live with StreamYard. But you're able to create a lot of different overlays that can show when you are talking. Let's say, for example, that you are going to discuss about medical billing for pediatricians, like Juan's example. In a StreamYard, you can create overlays that are going to be showing while you're talking. For example, let's say that you're going to say the 3 most important compliance tips for pediatricians. Number 1, this. Number 2, this. And while you're talking in the number 1, the overlay is going to show, and it's going to show like this. And it can stay if you want to for like 30 seconds, the seconds that you're going to talk, and then it's going to disappear. And then you're going to talk about number 2, and then the overlay is going to show. So that way, I like StreamYard because it's very interactive. And like I said, the free version it's cool enough to enhance your live streaming if you want to. So check it out. You can download and then just connect through your Facebook account, and then you're going to be able to use it. And then you can invite this part, you can invite different people to join to your Facebook Live. So if you have guests, they are able to connect with you, and you can choose different layouts to show the people who is speaking. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to let you know. There are a lot of apps out there. Some of them are for free, some of them are you have to pay for it. Like I said, this basic version is for free, and I've seen it, and it looks like that it's been a success because I've seen it a lot, and people are starting to use it. So I just wanted to give you insights about some apps you can use to improve the interaction. Oop, what happened? There you go. Questions, comments, doubts? Feel free to let me know. I hope that this webinar was useful. It is very basic. I'm not trying to, make it hard on you. Some of the checklist is just start doing it. Just start with videos here and there. I know that a lot of the small business owners are doing it, because I have a lot of them on my Facebook account. And I'm able to see that they are implementing live streaming. Juan needs to implement live streaming. I haven't seen him doing it, but I'm pretty sure that one time I'm going to convince him of doing it.
I'm right here, right now, live streaming.
Yes, but I'm talking about your small business. Anyway, if you have questions, please let me know. We are doing our best to bring you materials that are going to be helpful. If you have any topic on your mind that you think that it could be good for you, that you want to learn, just let us know. You can send us an email to extension.unr.edu. You can visit our website. It's extension.unr.edu/BusDev. And you can visit on Facebook. Our Facebook page is @Extension Business Education. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.